It's time to change the spark plugs in this Honda Element. In this video, I will show you how to get it done. The first thing that we need to talk about when we're installing the new spark plugs is whether or not to use anti-seize compound. If you buy a premium spark plug, it will already be coated with a zinc-like material that acts as an anti-seize compound. So on this plug, we do not need to put anti-seize compound. How you can tell if your plug has that coating or not is usually a black plug on the threads will indicate that it has not been coated. When you're working on the spark plugs, you want to kind of keep a clean area because you don't want any debris falling down into the cylinder when you have a plug out. The spark plugs are located underneath this cover. We'll need to remove these 10mm nuts to remove the cover. If you go to take this nut off and the whole stud comes out, don't worry about it, just go over and separate it and then put it back in correctly. Since the stud already came out, loosening up the coil pack, we'll start by replacing this spark plug first. Lift it up, remove the electrical connector, pull the coil pack out, set it somewhere safe. To loosen up the spark plug, I'm going to use a 5/8 normal deep socket with an extension. And then once it's loose, I'll use my special spark plug socket, which has a little rubber grommet in there that sticks onto the plug and that'll pull it out. When you get the plugs out, take them and set them down in order somewhere. That way when you have all four out, you can take a look and see if there's any variance between the four plugs. And that'll give you an indication if something's wrong with the engine. Take the new plug, make sure that the little tips on there, everything looks okay, it hasn't been smushed or cracked. And then as we discussed earlier, you do not need to use anti-seize compound on these. I just stick them in the little rubber grommet and then gently lower him in. And start it with your fingers. Then I'll take my normal socket, stick it down in there, get the plug finger tight, and then finish up with the ratchet. You're only putting these things to like 13 foot-pounds, so that's not a lot. Do not crank them down. That's pretty much it. If you're reaching out here to crank, that's way too much pressure. Slide your coil pack back in. Squish them down onto the new plug. And then take your stud and tighten the coil pack down. And then continue down the row. And there we go. We have changed the spark plugs on this Honda Element. To recap, if your spark plug is a premium spark plug, it's already coated. You do not need anti-seize compound. And you'll also need a specialty spark plug socket, one that either has rubber in it like this one or a magnetic one. And then lastly, you'll need some sort of extension so you can get down in there and reach the spark plug. Good luck.